He stands 5 foot tall, weighs around 110 pounds in his robes, and he's as tough as a $2 steak. Factor in relentless energy, and you have just encountered a man that was born in Nepal at the foot of the Himalayas and educated in a Tibetan monastery in India. He's in the long tradition of 16th century Gyuto monks, yet he has embraced the 21st century, everything from computers to email and iPhones.
I have a Facebook.
Oh, you have Facebook?
Somebody set up.
He's a man on a mission to preserve the Tibetan language and culture, and yet he has something in common with all of us.
I like this gas station because it's cheap.
The monk they call Donyo first came to the United States in 1988 as a guest of the iconic rock and roll band The Grateful Dead to tour as a singer. After a short visit, he returned to India, but he continued to dream about coming back to America.
I always believe, not only myself, my fellow Tibetans think that America is a great country if you do good things.
Donyo is one of 4 Tibetan monks that live in a house in suburban San Jose. The home has been transformed into a temple that is a place of worship for local Buddhists and also a learning center of Tibetan history and language. Donyo has traveled a long path from Nepal to California. His parents were from Tibet and named him Pasang, which means Friday.
One day my parents asked me, Pasang, do you want to be a monk? I accidentally said yes. I didn't know why I said yes. I have no idea that the monks practice all the vows and the discipline, all this, but somehow I said yes. So since then, my parents sent me to India, to a Gyuto monastery, 3 days away from Kathmandu. That was 1974, when I was, I think, 10 years old, 10 or 11 years old.
In this country, he doubles as everything from bus driver to CEO, and he's the driving force behind ensuring that a number of Bay Area Buddhists have a place to worship.
I only run the management, and the monks, they take care of the spirituals, socials, prayer service, and teachings, that sort of things. We have a program here as well as outside. Here we have teachings every night, not necessarily every night, Sunday nights and weekends, and also prayers, teachings, and also we go out, like house to house, hospitals, the chapels, when people die, people sick, those sort of services we offer. Then again, sometimes I go to schools, universities, local universities, high school. If any the students have any questions about religious or spiritual, I go to talk to them, and whatever I need to explain, I explain to them.
The life of a monk is something that Donyo has embraced since he first took his vows as a young man in the Tibetan monastery in northern India.
We don't get paid. Whatever we do for the monastery, of course, we share in the monastery. It's physically difficult, but it's a life, very simple life.
Donyo spent time in Australia on a mission and also learning to speak English.
I came here now 10 years ago. I came here with nothing. I had only $2,000 from Australia, which I saved for 8 years. I didn't want to spend that money, but I need that money to do something to start with. I brought that money here with me and started with the establish a monastery here in the Bay Area. So now here we have a house, we have a temple, we have members, 500-600 members. My email list is at 10,000, mailing list 4,000. Why not I call it this is a land of opportunity?
Taking odd jobs to raise money to provide a place for people to worship, Donyo, in essence, became an undercover monk.
I thought another job I found in San Francisco as a busboy. Again, I pretend I'm just a regular person, and every day I change robes, but every morning I wear my robes, but afternoon I change back to the regular clothes like you, and pretend as a regular guy and work in the restaurant for a year.
History overtook the ancient nation of Tibet in 1950, when the Chinese communists destroyed Tibetan monasteries and killed a number of monks. There was a revolt in 1959 that was violently put down by the Chinese Communist government. Unrest and violence continues to plague Tibet, and protesters are still met with harsh treatment by the Chinese People's Army. As a result, many Tibetans have fled to northern India, and eventually, some have ended up living in the United States. Donyo's ultimate goal has always been to build a learning center in Northern California, not only for Buddhists, but to promote education and compassion among people of all faiths. To that end, he received the support of the Tibetan government in exile and its spiritual and political leader, the Dalai Lama.
This center will be learning center. And also not only just Buddhism, but a center where more dialogue often Buddhism and other traditions.
The man that the Dalai Lama affectionately refers to as the little monk believes that dreams can come true in this country, and Donyo has a habit of getting things done.
You have to start with something yourself before you ask help others. Ask others. Then people see, oh, Donyo need help, so he's been doing this and that. So no matter what, but I never changed my faith. I changed my robes, but I never changed my faith.